2, 3, 1, 6, 2, 1, 5. Hey everyone, it's Eric with FirearmTutorials.com. Today I wanted to give you guys a look at the Remington R1 Enhanced 1911 with the threaded barrel. So I've had this for a little while, I just haven't got around to doing a review on it. You know, I'll start out by saying I'm not a 1911 guy. I don't know a lot about these guns. I don't have a lot of trigger time behind them. This is kind of more of a novelty gun for me. You know, I'll kind of give you my impressions of it and some looks at the features of it. So let's get started. You get the 5-inch stainless barrel. Rest of the gun is black. I've changed these grips out, but with the enhanced version, you get a couple things you don't get on the regular version. So you've got a skeletonized trigger here. You've also got the skeletonized hammer and a larger beaver tail here integrated with the safety. You also get the Heine sights. These are a little bit taller than the stock sights, just for use with a suppressor. And you see it's a single dot setup, so you've got a single dot on the rear and a single dot on the front. But you know, putting it through its paces, I don't have a lot of trigger time with this particular model, but or any 1911 for that matter. But you know, it's still a great shooting gun considering the platform's over 100 years old. Do I think that there's some things that have been improved over this design? Absolutely. There are some things that I don't care for in this. Not saying that this is a bad gun by any means, but that being said, it does come with some different grips. These are the factory ones that come with it. These are actually wood. And the ones I put on here are anodized aluminum. And you'll see here, those of you guys that want to do the ambidextrous safety lever, this actually has the right side grinded out for one, where I can't do that with these particular grips. And if I wanted to do this the correct way, I'd get the smaller bushings to put these screws kind of flush into the grips. You know, I wasn't looking to completely customize this gun because it's not a gun I'm going to shoot that often. It does come with a bushing to take this thing down and clean it. The breakdown on these is a little cumbersome if you're not used to working with these. The trigger is adjustable. Now when I say adjustable, it's adjustable for reset, not for pull weight. I played with it a little bit. There is a hole on the front here for you to adjust it. This trigger being a metal trigger may catch your finger. It's a little bit sharp, not anything that you won't get used to, but something to be aware of if you're used to shooting plastic hammer-fired or striker-fired guns. Fit and finish is good. It's not the best. There's a little bit of wobble in these. You know, this is not a $3,000, you know, custom-built gun or anything like that. But for what it is, it's put together nice. I've seen some people complain about the finish on these wearing. I haven't had it long enough to really confirm or deny that. It does come with this thread protector, which if you take a look at is kind of interesting because the finish was pretty much wearing off this the day that I got it. Don't know exactly what that's about. I don't use it that often, but when I pair it up with this Raven concealment holster, it will fit in there with or without the thread protector, so that's cool. I had to wait about a month and a half to get this holster. But, you know, my limited knowledge of 1911s, I've shot some that are cheaper, some that are more. MSRP on this is, I think, $1140. You can find them for a little bit cheaper than that. You can find them for under $1,000, and Remington is usually running some type of rebate, be it a cash rebate, ammo, or they actually were offering threaded barrels for those that didn't come with one. So you can pick them up for a little bit cheaper than that. I mean, for a sub $900 1911, you're not going to be disappointed with it. I did some research on that, and a lot of people were generally happy with this particular model for the price that you pay for it. It comes with 2 8-round Remington magazines. They're anti-tilt followers. I've had no issues with those. As far as shooting it, now again, like I said, I'm not a 1911 shooter, so don't judge me on this alone, but the only issue I had with this gun, and I have very large hands, is there's really not much room for me to grip this part of the gun. So I had a little bit of trouble controlling the recoil, at least in a sense that I could shoot it accurately very quickly. To whereas in the polymer guns, there's usually a lot more real estate here to kind of get a firm grip, and you see that since it's metal, it's also a little slippery. So in some cases, I found myself just trying to get a grip on the slide here. I didn't have any malfunctions, but the shells were coming out and hitting me on the thumb here, which wasn't enjoyable. So those of you that are used to shooting polymer pistols, it may be something that you should look into, or something that may bother you. I don't know. That's the only thing that I really felt was wrong with it. If we take a look at some footage of me shooting it here, you can see I had a little bit of trouble with the recoil, like I said, because I really couldn't get a grip with my right hand on it. If I really spent some more time with it, I'm sure it's something that I could mitigate fairly easily. It's just a platform that I'm completely unfamiliar with. But I really had no issues with it. This is just shooting my reloads. I had a couple failure to feeds that was just completely ammo related. So other than that, the gun ran just fine. I did run a box of factory ammo through it just fine. Suppressed, it's not over gassed. It's surprisingly quiet. It's going to get more dirty, obviously, shooting it suppressed. I've got complete clearance of the sights with the suppressor on. It's a fun gun. Is it a gun that I would want to lug around on my hip all day, either concealed carry or otherwise? No. I feel like there's some better alternatives for that because this gun is heavy. Other than that, it's a platform that's over 100 years old and still made today, so that says something about its reliability, anything that you could ask for out of this gun. And honestly, when I break this thing down, I just kept thinking to myself, how did they come up with this design over 100 years ago? They didn't have the type of tooling we had, so a lot of this stuff had to be done and fit by hand. It was really impressive to me. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.